What up? What up? Good morning. Welcome back. As usual, remember that day trading is risky. As you're tuning in, day trading is risky business. So I'm watching ticker symbol AUID. Didn't really get to trade it here as I was preparing to start the stream the last 5 minutes, but it does look interesting and hopefully it can continue to be strong here the next 10 minutes or so, maybe even before the open, if not, it's been pretty steady so far, and it's been holding up well. Although it does feel a little top heavy now, I will say. But it's possible we could still make new highs. It's still in range. Levels here like 33. Can we push through? It's been, I kind of traded like from 8:30. Was it 8:30? Maybe a little early, maybe a little later than that, but watched on a little bit of CJMB and got some good trades. Got some pretty good trades actually. But that one was good old momentum trading, right? It is pretty risky if you're caught in the wrong areas. And once it got to like the backside, we kind of saw the flush out. I'm actually gonna look at this watch list here and kind of game plan. SPHL. Looks like this one was more of a 7 a.m. move. Although sometimes these stocks do curl up into the open, so I'll keep an eye. SPHL. We're seeing some selling pressure here for AUID. It did feel a little top heavy. I would have made money on it if I was trading it. I should have, but the live stream would have started till like 9:20. SPHL. We'll see if this one is any good later in the day. Being that it's up around $7, it's pushed through some of these key levels here. Actually, this $7 is pretty big resistance. This might be finished. Well, okay. Never mind. Never mind what I just said there. We had a high of 1241. Okay, that's pretty impressive, and we're now holding that 750 area. So if it's able to hold here, this could end up being good support. That previous resistance on the daily, CJMB, actually looks interesting here. Oh shoots, it's still below the VWAP though, but over $3 here could be interesting. Looks like it's a VWAP rejection in the short term. So that SPHL does look interesting, right? Yeah, a bit of a VWAP rejection. Low 99. The setup could be worth it through the level. Some people are probably in a little lower here off the red to green. The 5-minute candle to make the new high was at 95. The 5-minute candle to make the new high was at 95. And there might be room if it's able to continue through the VWAP over 17. So it's worth keeping an eye on in case we see something before the open. So SPHL, CJMB, AUDI, BNKK. I need to take a quick look at this one. Also didn't really look at any penny stocks. Didn't look at any penny stocks here early. Daily chart. BNKK. Daily chart definitely had pulled back quite a bit. And we've curled up. We're in between this range of $4.30 and $6. So nothing special on the daily chart. Looks like they might have been a split recently. But yeah, nothing special here. We're curling up off the lows, which is what we've been seeing for a lot of our stocks here recently. Yeah, I'm actually interested in a 10-second chart here in pre-market. I think over 320, say CJMB could be interesting. I'll put up I can put up the scanner here for a second. For those people now tuning in. For those of you without a scanner, you can take a quick look at the screen here. You can also take a screenshot maybe. Watching at CJMB. Ideally, the 5-minute candlestick to make the new high is a setup I really like here. But watching it a little higher. Time. We got about 10 minutes to the opening bell. Low of the last is about 63, which is pretty low on the 5. That's a while ago too, back here. So we're holding higher in this new consolidation. Lows around 290 or plus or minus 287. So can we hold 290 and potentially get through the VWAP? There's a bit of a breakdown, 280. The previous lows, again, 63. Don't forget, if you're tuning in on YouTube, if you're tuning in on MySpace, Facebook, be sure to hit the thumbs up for those of you still using MySpace. Did you guys remember getting Tom as a friend? Or is that Facebook? CJMB coming down a little bit. Bro, back in the days, MySpace was Facebook. Before Facebook was Facebook, it was MySpace. It's kind of interesting how they phased out so quickly. Once Facebook came, you know. I can stream to Facebook. I'm not streaming to Facebook right now, but I can. I should be really. We've pulled back here to 280. We're much lower below the VWAP, so I'm kind of losing interest in the short term, of course. I'm going to come back to the 1 minute chart here. Yeah, there were some good things about MySpace. It's literally what Facebook is if you think about it, right? For those people who uses Facebook. I'm more of an Instagram guy, but some people, you know, some people like the original Facebook platform. I despise it actually. IPW. Lighter volume. Damn, it's going. It's still too early for me to jump in it though. I'll wait. VWAP. Is it like 7:15? This is how they start sometimes. Highs are at 8:45. I gotta start up my screen recording. High of the current candle is 80. Let me start up my screen recording here. I don't doubt that if volume gets into it back over 8, it could do something, but it seems kind of shaky here. That was not good. All right, waiting for the open. We got about 5 minutes, and in terms of, I missed my break of 8 there. That was actually a decent setup. Let me see, SPHL. I'm gonna keep typing this one wrong, so I gotta be careful. What was that? 8, like 30. CJMB. They're kind of looking a little soft here. BNKK. So we kind of have some softer movements here for the open. We had the original front side, and we're kind of like sideways and down. So we'll have to wait for that, 9:30 bell and see what might gain volume for a potential push. IPW, I missed the break of 8 there, which was a 40-cent move, a dipping. SPHL starting to move a little bit. Um, I'm going to be watching the first pullback here. We got lows at 92, high of the move was 40 for SPHL here. We got a minute to the opening bell, just a heads up. We are coming up at the open here. I'm in with a starter position here. No initial volume spike into the open. So a bit of a bluff for early red to green there. We'll see what hits scans. CGTL. Let's see. As usual, there's a lot hitting in the first minute or two here. CJMB, small move here up to 90. It's still pretty early, so just waiting here on the sidelines. CJMB is moving up a little bit here. We had a big level at 320 earlier. This was a pretty big level earlier here. That was pretty decent. I'm holding a little bit of size, well, not size, but a little bit of shares rather into the halt up. AUDI is also moving a little bit. You know what? Now that I'm like thinking, right? Yesterday was all well. Yesterday was like fairly hot, so BNKK. BNKK small red to green so far. This is quite the red to green here to start, though. There's 2 minutes 26 seconds to the resumption. Nothing else looking as good in my opinion just yet. So waiting for the resumption. CGTL is hitting the scans a little here, but it's kind of struggling to make a new high, it seems. Damn, EVTV, shoots. This one did not hit the scanners, I don't think. Interesting. It's kind of down. Okay, I see it's kind of down versus some prior days here. It's down versus yesterday, the last 2 days, but still in a good uptrend overall. We got 60 seconds to CJMB. It's actually showing a lower resumption. The volume in the chat or time, 30 seconds. I'm going to fix the volume later if it's messed up, but we got 10 seconds to the resumption here. It's showing a little lower. I'm actually pleasantly surprised we're seeing a quick move here. This is good. Highs are at 81. The new 5-minute candlestick is about to come here in a couple seconds. Well, that was pretty good. Wow. Look at that bounce. And that's into the new candlestick dropping down like that too. It's pretty good. 41 lows, right back to 90. I took 60 there, which is way too early. So break of 4 looking like the next target here. Break of 4, will we see it here in this candlestick on the 5? Another 3 minutes or so. The breakout trades are always a little bit tough. The false breakout. The 5-minute candlestick is about to close. It does start to feel, it's starting to feel like a little heavy. We'll see if it comes down. If not, a sudden red to green could be pretty good. Back over the whole dollar definitely would be pretty bullish here, being that we saw some selling pressure. It's hard to tell the false breakouts, right? We got 406 there. Is it a false breakout? Perhaps. Oh, that was a brutal fill. So it's having trouble back over 4. We got 405 twice and back down to 390. But it seems bullish though. It's a quick red to green off 360s. I definitely want to keep in mind that, if it breaks down, it could be backside, like an early backside in the short term. ROLR is still at 30 bucks. So we're seeing a 5-minute pullback and it could even be backside here. High of day yesterday is 44 for SEGG. SEGG, it's kind of, it's moving a little slower here. What I don't love is all these red candlesticks that I'm seeing throughout the move. On the 10-second chart. The 1-minute chart definitely looks a little bit better, but we have a topping wick on the 5. AUID could become something. CJMB is still fighting at the VWAP area. Yeah, SEGG is getting obliterated here. Switching back to CJMB here. So far, it's fighting at the VWAP, which is good. And there's a very obvious bear flag here. If it's able to hold up the support, then there's a chance it could retest on the break of the bear flag. Through 60 could be pretty interesting for a retest of $4. Oh, come on. Talk to us nicely here. $420 was high of day. I think pullbacks here will be pretty good despite the candle closing on the bigger time frame. I don't think it goes straight through. I mean, it's possible, but there might be a pullback here coming. But we had resistance over 4, so, you know, is it going to be smooth if it does get through the level? So we're still seeing some resistance there. I keep selling some of my position way too early, you know, like, man, it has to stop. But slow and steady here, slow and steady. $4 have been resistance, but you know, hopefully if it goes, it just teleports. That's honestly the best thing that could happen if it just teleports up to like 415, 420. If it's gradual, we risk the rejection happening over and over. So we've rejected like 4 times, like 405, 410 between now and the last time it went up there. See, the pullback here is not really dipping. I'm not, you know, we're kind of holding really high. Which is not ideal for me to get back in. So kind of back out, waiting for another good entry. If it goes right here, I'm not going to be in. I mean, I can always try to break out, but it's just so dicey. 405, right back down. Again, the breakout trade has struggled. The breakout trade has definitely struggled. So buying 4 right there, like buying 95 right there for that to go to 420 is a tough trade. There are people buying the VWAP bounce here, which is good. There's some big orders, 30,000 shares plus, 8,000 shares, so forth. Got to be careful of backside or a prolonged pullback here again. What I would love is to see what we just saw, which is like a bear flag and then the chance of a bear flag breakout. But for now, it looks like that spunk to go over 4 is not going to happen in the short term. So maybe another 10, 20, 30 minutes of sideways here, unless it does a very quick red to green again. If it gets through 75 and just boosts up to 90 again, then there's a chance. If not, it might take time. Yeah, it looks like it might take time. Sidelines for now, and just waiting to see what it does. But if we do get back over 80, we got to be careful of the rejection at 4. So people are definitely aggressively short, high 90s, low 4. The pre-market high is at 464. So if it clears 420, if the stock clears 420, it should be able to go to 464. Assuming we don't get to like 430 and it teleports down. So there's a high bear flag here, but still a little early. Mm, 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 mm. There's a new 5-minute candlestick here, which is good. I don't love the abrupt drop we're seeing though. We're getting to like 78, 79, and then immediately 69. Is there any other call outs? The VWAP is the next level down. So that bear flag didn't work to curl back up. And the bear flag is basically just the red to green, right? If we can make the new high over the level and just if there's enough buying, before you know it, you're seeing 85 and then right back to 4. This is where I think it could break down if the selling pressure is too high. I mean, we've held it twice now, 42 and 47. So this is like the third time in this range. This is where, for me, it's like super dicey. I did take this dip right here, kind of just on the sidelines. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Right now we're fighting for our lives with small size here these last couple of days. You know, I think we're gonna keep with the small size into next week as well. And once we continue to see some good stuff, then we can size up into the last week of the month. But there's still some things I think I need to work on. I feel like we still need to do a better job of adding into positions. We're kind of falling victim to waiting for lower still, whilst the aim is to just throw out the order in the areas where we're bullish on the trend down to get this to accumulate the position, relatively speaking, right? To get up to 3, 4, 500 shares rather than just 200 shares in the trade. 70, 80 was still resistance, but this is a good sign that we held the VWAP there again. This is not a bad setup here. But we still have to like break out this bigger bear flag, If it gets through 80, there's a chance. But we had strong resistance here, high 70s. I'm only still watching the stock because yesterday we had a lot of like a hotter market kind of day. I'm not looking to like over trade or like, be jumping in and out, but kind of just sidelines, kind of just, engaging. It's even on a normal regular day, when you stay till 4 o'clock, stocks like this, they'll like curl back up at some point, maybe 2, 3 hours later, right? But in a hotter market, the chances of it going again is like, usually higher. So, but with this breakdown, that right there could be the cue to walk away. So the red to green here, once we got back down below 65, it's like this type of drop is like is it could happen, right? The first drop, second drop, this was the third one, which still held up surprisingly. The fourth time was the charm to break down here. In terms of our more recent pullback to the VWAP, if we consider this a leg, let's zoom in and stretch it out a little bit. If we consider this another a fresh move up here, this is our first drop, second, third, and then the fourth time here, the VWAP giving out. The tough thing with these drops is that the resistance still remains, right? Like if we come back up, odds are is that 380 is going to still be resistance, which makes it pretty tough to, for a breakout trade. SPHL at $8. This one, let's see, 840. Where was the resistance? Pre-market, there was resistance a little bit at 840 and more so at 880. It could go. This one could go. This pullback here was definitely good. Down to like 780. The 5-minute candlestick is finished. There's a new 5-minute candlestick. There's 780. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, so much for that starter. This one looks like it's Christmas tree. Yeah, those dips like that, you got to be careful. I can't say I'm surprised, but I tried to pull a fast one there. All right, we're definitely giving back off the good day here, so we got to be careful. $875 to $728 on the dip. Looks like a good Christmas tree. You see that trade I'm not supposed to take, right? It's a scalp trade. It's a price action trade, gunning for the low and a quick retest, or not retest at the highs, but a quick bounce. I'm like, yeah, 65 off the drop from 802, 75, and I'm risking 6 cents. But once that teleportation down comes again, the risk is out the window. Yeah, but that drop on the other stock is probably the cue, right? For those of you in the chat room, it looks like most people ended green here who've posted so far. Oren, shout out to Oren today. Nicely done. Nicely done. Jimmy's calendar looking pretty clean, man. Yep. The setup that I should have been waiting on right here is going to give some sort of follow through. Although when a stock is giving momentum, right? When a stock is giving good momentum, trying for that 3-bar play early is not too much of a bad idea, but you got to be careful. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the green off the table here. We had someone say the volume was having issues. Is the volume good, by the way? I forgot that was like almost like an hour ago. And the volume looks good on my side. I think that might do it. Man, what a red to green. See, this is the setup I should be waiting on, right? Back over 8, up to 860. Trying to catch the falling knife, just too risky sometimes. Those are like old habits that you just have to keep working on shaking them. But taking the green and heading out, for those of you going till 4 or 5 p.m. with the aggressive by the way, SHPL is back up a little bit, and AUID also curled up towards the highs. For those of you going till 4 or 5 p.m., continue to be disciplined. If you're trading aggressively, continue to be disciplined, especially, and be very careful. Early live stream for me, but I mean, we kind of did what we needed to do. We did give back a little at the end, which wasn't good, but overall decent. There's still things to work on though. And in pre-market on was it this one? I I think it might have been this one. We missed this break of 8, which was a 40-cent move. And then we took the dip on this red candle, and we took a flush out of like 15, 20 cents. I need to like not miss those type of trades, you know. Like I just knew it was too familiar to like not be aggressive, to jump in the moment the volume came. And so something else to work on there, right? But anyhow, so I'm out of here. Stay safe, stay green.